Alrighty, so here's the tutorial for water. Basically, start off, just buy like almost everything, like all the big stuff, like lauter turn, the fermentation bar, mash turn, your bucket, ingredients, barley, yeast. You'll have to get hops in a minute or two. I forgot to spawn that in. But to start off, you want to bring your bucket. Don't let it fly like I did. No, anyways, bucket needs water, it says, so put water in there. Alright, and now it says it needs mashed barley. So with this, you take your barley and in the mash turn, put barley and water. And it'll say idle. And you have to get your water level up to 100%. So in your F4 menu, scroll all the way down, and you have bottles, all this, everything, all the good shit, and water. So go and buy like 5 waters or whatever, and then you'll be able to put them in there. And that'll raise your level up to 100%, and you'll be able to activate this. And it says boiling, and basically just go and wait for this to finish. And you get mashed barley. So you take your mashed barley and put it in the beer bucket. And then now it says need to be sparged in the lauter turn. And that means it's full. So you're going to put it into the lauter turn. Okay, but need more hops. So again, F4 menu. And come all the way down. Hops. Now you got hops. You're going to put hops in. And then your bucket will go in. And basically going to wait for the timer to come down. And out will pop. And now it says full. So go and take your bucket back to it. And you'll get a beer bucket. And it says it needs to be cooled. So once it says that, you have to wait for the timer to come down. Okay, apparently there's somebody shooting in here. Alright, anyways, like I said, wait for it to come down and be cooled. Alright, now it's cooled. So now it says it needs yeast. So grab a yeast, mix it with the bucket, keep adding. And that says need to be fermented. So you take it over here to your fermentation barrel, pour it in, and it'll say full. And the weird part about this is you need a carbonation canister. Go and connect this to the top there, and go and hit E to start this. As you see, the bar is starting to go down, and this is the final step to this. So once you're done there, while you're waiting, you can spawn in, where's it at? A beer box, and then a bunch of bottles, because that's what you're going to need to put your beer into. Alright, so now you got a beer crate and a bunch of bottles. And while you're waiting for this, make sure you don't lose your bucket, because you will need that again. And as you can see, if I don't get stuck again, it's almost done. So in a second here, we'll be able to do this. And don't worry about this. This level does not go up until the very end. Alright, so now you see it's at the end, so this is done. So you can go and hit E on that to disconnect it. Grab your bucket again, hit it with this, and now you have beer. And it says it needs to be carbonated. That's where this comes back into play again. You grab your carbonation canister and touch it to that. If I don't get stuck. Alright, and now, since you touch it, it needs to be emptied and sold. And you can get 6 bottles out of it. So, grab your bottles, touch it, now you got beer. And drop the beer in the crate. And that's how you make beer.